I want some good news today. Yes, that is what I say. Give me some good news today. That is what I say. I want a day when nobody didn't kill nobody and nobody didn't shoot nobody and nobody didn't hurt nobody. No, nobody didn't lie, kidnap, murder, rape, mama guy. Nobody and nobody had to cry. Nobody no.
Joining me now is Mr. Benjamin De La Rosa, Vice President of the Council of the Zoological Society. And we're going to have a little conversation about the organizational aspects to keep this impressive organization afloat. So, Mr. De La Rosa, you're Vice President of the Council of the Zoological Society. What is that?
That's correct. The Zoological Society is a society of its own. The zoo is owned actually by the Zoological Society of Trinidad and Tobago. It's made up of its many members. The council is like the executive of the society, and we are actually the members of the council. So we are actually like the board that actually runs the zoo.
Tell me a little bit about what it takes to run this type of organization.
In a nutshell, a lot of money. That was just being funny there, but it is real. I mean, if you were probably looking at the news when we brought things like the giraffes, and those are expensive animals and it takes a lot just to get them. We have 2 males and they were a lot of fun about it. I heard Sprang along having a whale of a time talking about why would we bring 2 males, but that's all we could have gotten at the time, and we thought that we wouldn't miss the opportunity to get the animals in. So I'm only saying that to say that it takes a lot, rather instead of just or beside just having the animals here and taking care of them to the extent that they are well cared for, and that they actually live a really purposeful and meaningful life, albeit providing that opportunity for our kids first, and of course the parents have to come with them to be able to actually see these animals alive and in a setting that is probably closest you will see them anywhere in the world, even at other zoos. You see the giraffe almost one-on-one. If you look at the tigers that we brought, they're right up. We had to keep moving the barrier just to keep kids from putting their hands in, because they look so nice and cute, they want to touch them. But really that's the whole issue here. It is about giving that experience where for a very small fee at the gate, and again, if you ask what it takes, we run the zoo almost entirely on the takes that we get from the gate. We do have a subvention from the government. We got a subvention that helps to pay employees and some of the other final things from running the zoo.
From the Ministry of Tourism?
Well, it's from the government and it's funded through the Ministry of Tourism. Yes, we report. We have that sort of a reporting arrangement for facilitating the funds being disbursed to the organization through the Ministry of Tourism, yes.
Now, in walking around the facility some time ago, I noticed a lot of construction taking place. Well, what's your trajectory in terms of moving forward?
Well, I'm glad you noticed that, because you would have heard that the zoo opened its gates in 1952.
Yeah.
Well, that's a long time ago, before I was even born. If you walk the facility, you would notice that there's some, what are actually cages that had been here since the zoo was opened. The construction that you're seeing is part of our own initiative to bring this facility up to world standards. And world standard is not just putting a product out there. It is what allows us to be able to access animals. No one will sell you an animal or exchange an animal with you as a zoo if they are not assured that you have the kind of facility to properly care for that animal. So we embarked about 2 or 3 years ago on a master plan to upgrade the entire facilities. We have like about 14 phases. We completed phase 1, which is to my right here, and when you walk you'll see what we're talking about. We've moved to phase 2, which is nearing completion, and that will accommodate the new giraffes that we brought in. If you notice where they are, and you'll see it's not a very big area. It's
Yeah.
really a holding area until we can move them to that. We've completed that area and we can put them into a much bigger area where it would be more of an African savanna type display. So we have things like we will be bringing some other animals that will live with them so they feel more.
What types of animals?
Basically animals that you'll find in the savannas. So we have the impalas coming. Back of that we'll have some chimpanzees. All the noise and the whole ambience, the environment will be a lot more conducive than it is right now, even though they seem very comfortable where they are.
So it seems to me like you're almost creating the atmosphere or recreating the natural environment from whence these animals came.
Well, I mean, that is our dream,
Yeah.
that we could give them that sort of, habitat that they would normally live in. Of course, we can never give them the expanse that they
Yeah.
will have to roam. But a lot of the animals we are able to acquire, to bring here, are animals that are bred in captivity anyway. So they're not your wild animals. We couldn't remove animals from the wild. That's not a very easy thing now, unless you do it illegally and poacher. We are not into that sort of thing. But these animals are not your wild animals from the actual wild. So they are accustomed to not being a roaming type animals or having that kind of expanse that you would normally see when you look at this Discovery Channel or one
Yeah.
of those Animal Planets or something. But as far as having them in captivity and presenting that product that people can actually come and see an animal, see it up close, we are actually trying to do the best that is possible given what we have.
You mentioned 15 phases.
14 actually.
14
yes.
phases. Just give me a brief as to what can we expect at the end of the 14th phase.
Well, I can give you a quick shot here. I completely transformed the zoo. What we have done is we've started the phases more to concentrate on creating that environment for the animals. So we are looking at changing what I referred to as cages and making them more of what you would call enclosures. There's a marked difference actually. You will not see all of those wires and steel and all that kind of thing, even though some of it will be there to enforce or to maintain security of the animals and the visitors. It will not be in your face. It will be all properly masked and made to look like if it's very natural. That is the early stages of the phases, but we've taken it all the way to looking at the impact to all of our stakeholders. If you would have realized what happened when we brought the giraffes here, there were traffic all around the savannah on weekends. I mean, there's total chaos. One of the things we have done is we are going to be working on a multi-story car park. We have seen from our own research that Trinidadians and I imagine people on the whole will come to your facility if they know that there's secure parking.
Correct.
and they're not going to be harassed by touts. So we have actually embarked on that as part of one of the phase. Like I say, everything about this facility will be changed. Where we had primates in a primate section there that really, if you go there, they're cages. I mean, they can't be described as anything else. If you look at what we've done in phase 2, we've actually incorporated the chimpanzees enclosure back of the giraffes. If you go there, you will be able to view the animals from ground level, from an elevated level, and from a sort of vantage point around the enclosure. Totally different, totally in keeping with what is expected and what we've seen in modern zoos today.
Excellent. So shall we have a look at the attractions?
You couldn't be here and not do that. Definitely.
Okay, let's go check out the animals.
get out there, they head for the sea. Yeah, where people go and see miracles. Okay, we can see beaches all the other islands.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And 10
Beaches that we have
times.
here, exactly. You know, so what? When you talk about
Yes.
yeah.
I'm going to see it.
Very looking pretty here.
Quite often they bury themselves under the leaves. They just their head sticking out.
Shedded.
Yeah, skin in there, yeah. You know? And you know what they locally call them afterwards.
So I'm sure you've encountered these if they were ever being in the bushes, but you wouldn't even know. They wouldn't interfere with you unless they probably step on them or something.
I hope to God never. Oh my goodness Okay.
If you do this, he knows the ball.
We try here. Yeah. And if it come like that, smooth, okay. No.
I will hold it.
Let me get a comfortable here first.